Munira, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So you're against the plans. Why?
Well, I think a third runway would be bad for the environment. It would be bad for local communities. I think it would be bad for the UK's net zero targets. And the economic case, I think, is still to be proven. The environmental case for expanding Heathrow, frankly, is in tatters. And I think we all want to focus on creating a better Heathrow, not a bigger Heathrow.
But if Heathrow are saying they're operating at capacity now, how can we achieve a better Heathrow without a third runway?
Well, Heathrow have already announced a significant infrastructure upgrade, which I have no problem with. That fits with the idea of having a better Heathrow. I mean, they're saying they're full. Let's look at this in context. About 20% of flights into Heathrow and out of Heathrow are domestic or near Europe flights. I mean, you said the quote before from Business London suggested people were against all infrastructure. Well, actually, I and my Liberal Democrat colleagues want to see more investment and better rail infrastructure, and that would be a better and less environmentally damaging way of getting around the UK. I mean, it's absurd. I travel to Newcastle regularly. Why is it that I can fly to Newcastle cheaper than I can get a train? So, but one of the big questions is, you talked about the cost. Heathrow have announced it's going to cost a whopping £49 billion for this monster project. They're currently laden with £20 billion worth of debt. The question is, how on earth is this going to be paid for? And I would suggest that is going to fall heavily on passengers and also an as yet unquantified amount on the taxpayer, because Heathrow have made it clear they are not going to fully fund all of the rail and road infrastructure upgrade that would be needed to support a third runway.
But if we're told this expansion could unlock huge numbers of jobs, massive economic growth, not just for London but for the entire country, how else do we find that growth if you're going to put a stop on this?
So, as you said in your question, we are being told this. I mean, obviously, the details were only published very late last night. We need to look at the details. But there have been very strong economic reports by the New Economics Foundation, and even some of the Department for Transport's own figures suggest that actually business travel has fallen in recent years and it's stagnant, and a lot of the growth in travel is going out of the UK. That's not necessarily bringing business into the UK or being used as a hub, as a transfer hub. That's not necessarily creating huge amounts of money for the economy. And also, Heathrow have failed to answer. I mean, they're saying it's going to create lots of jobs. They haven't actually even put a number on it. And again, in recent years, when there was some growth in the aviation industry, actually the number of jobs remained stagnant. So the problem is there's a lot of questions to be answered. And let's not forget, the government rightly has some very strong climate targets, and the Climate Change Committee has said there is no way with this expansion, which would essentially create the second biggest airport next to the first biggest airport in the UK, there's no way that we can meet our climate targets, especially whilst we're also expanding Gatwick, Luton, Stansted and City, which the government's already pushing ahead on.